Hey, everybody. This is
Okay.
Anthony Brogdon, Strong Inspirations YouTube channel, coming at you once again. This time, I've gone international. I'm interviewing a sister out of United Kingdom, out of London, England. She's on with us. Uh, you know about my book, Black
Hi.
Business Book?
How you doing?
It's over 200 facts on Black history, the emphasis of Black business in America. It's gonna blow you away. It's on Amazon and it's on
Yes, I do.
on businessintheblack.net. Here's the movie I've done, everybody, Business in the Black. But I want to get started because this sister's sitting there patiently. She ready to roll. She gonna roll with you. Watch out. She gonna answer these. I got questions for her. She's gonna tell us about Black history in the United Kingdom in London. So everybody subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notifications button, and tell people about Strong Inspirations. Sister, tell us your name and the name of your
Okay.
company.
Hi, everyone. Okay, yeah. Oh, thank you for having me, Anthony. It's a great privilege, all the way from United Kingdom, and I go by the name of Nubian Nagist, and that's where Anthony and we met on Instagram,
Yes.
on Nubian Nagist Books, and that's who I am on Instagram.
All right, let me go right at my questions.
Yeah.
Let me fire them off at you. You can and give it to us.
All right.
This first question is easy. Were you born in United Kingdom?
Yes, I was. I was born in England.
You were born in England.
England.
Where is your family from?
My family are from the Caribbean.
They're from the Caribbean.
Yeah, Jamaica.
Okay, so and we all come from Africa. So they ended up, were their ancestors slaves that got to the Caribbean? How did they, do you know how that worked?
Okay. Through the slave trade.
Through the slave trade.
So we were stolen from Africa, and yes, and through the journey,
yes,
we all became one village when we went to the Atlantic, and then we were all split up. I went to different places.
Yes.
So my generation went to the Caribbean, the island of Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica.
And then your family would have gone to America.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So your family would have gone to America.
Yes.
Some Brazil.
Yes.
Etc.
I got you. So somehow, you know, it's funny. We all are related when we come from Africa.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Now, how did the people from the Caribbean end up in England? Were they slaves in England, or they just transported to England to get to do a better life, or what?
No. Well, with the history from the slavery time, I mean, they was taken from Africa and they went to Plymouth, like Liverpool, Bristol, London, and they were like indentured servants.
Was there slavery
they
in the
had
United
the slave boats, and they would leave from the slave boats would leave from the
Was there slavery in England?
Yeah, it was more like servitude.
Okay.
But at the time when they did originally come, they weren't servants. They were from noble families, and they came through the Moors, Mauritania, and came to Europe. And they did 700 years in Europe, where, especially with Spain, is a beautiful, when you go to Andalusia, the southern side of Spain, you'll see all the civilization that they built there. And in pockets, you know, in the United Kingdom, we have many historical places where you can see that we were there as well. So there's a history in all these ports that I told you, I just mentioned, because a lot of the boats left from here, went to Africa, from Africa came back, and there's I recently learned about knowledge from London. One of the piers, that's where our ancestors came, and I was really, really shocked. You see, so it was off one of the London, off one of the bridges. Because
Okay,
if you see how London is, it's like an eye. Then it's got like the eyelashes would be
sure,
like the bridges as
sure.
well.
Now,
So
how
it's an
now?
interesting.
Yeah. Now, are your parents from Jamaica? They went to, or your grandparents went from Jamaica to London?
My parents,
Your parents.
yes.
Okay.
So
They went to London just for opportunities that London provided, so on and so forth.
yeah, because for the when we say Caribbean, it means there's another word, the West Indies, that also incorporates southern Southern America. So you would have like British Guyana, French Guyana, and Suriname, and places like that. Yeah, so it was the mother country. Britain was seen, the English speaking was seen as the mother country. So she had the Commonwealth all over, you see. So a lot of us, especially after, let's say we could say the black influence of British culture, 1948. But we as Africans, we came here before, and it was like a novelty to have a black servant. He was well dressed, but you was in the nobility homes, and whoever got money and who could afford to have an African, it was seen as a status symbol. You see,
Okay.
so now you had the influx of Africans coming over from 1948, and also a lot came because it was seen as your mother country. So even though you're in the Caribbean, Barbados or St. Lucia, Antigua, or Suriname or Bahamas, you not so much yet. Bahamas, you saw Britain as a place you want to go there one day. So they were offered opportunities to come here, you see.
Now, what did
So,
when your parents got to London, dad, mom, what did they do for a living?
okay, well, my mum came and my dad came, and they met here. So
Okay.
they weren't they didn't meet in the Caribbean. Like some of us, we have
Okay.
parents like myself. They met here, and some of the generations, they have one parent from the Caribbean and one parent from Africa
I got you.
as
I
well,
got you.
straight from Mama Africa. So they have the beauty of both cultures.
I got you.
So my mum, it was a lot of factory work in truth, and some came to. It was hard. It was a difficult period, and especially after the Second World War, because remember Britain was really damaged, especially the Second World War,
Okay.
and they met. I believe my dad worked in some factory, but he was like a supervisor, foreman. That was very rare as well to
Okay.
have a status symbol, but they were fighters. And I think my mum worked in the factory somewhere, but I wasn't born in London. They met in Nottingham.
How far
So
is that
that
from
is
London?
another county further up
Okay.
in England.
So where did the
So that's
blacks
where I was
live in
born.
London
And
at
then
that
they left and
time?
came down to London. So majority of my life is in London
Where did the
as
blacks
well.
live back in those days in London? Did they live in London? Did they live
From Nottingham
in
to
the
London,
city? I'm sorry. Where did your parents live when they first got to England?
my mum lived in, I believe she said Luton, and then she left, and then she went to Nottingham, and then my dad was in Nottingham.
Oh, okay, okay. So now, slavery in America. Was there was there a fight among black people to have a better way of life and get out of servitude?
Oh yes, they did. They had the Chartist movement over here. There was always fighting. A good book, which is one that I would highly recommend. It's called The Stay in Power, and that's by is it Stephen Fryer?
Okay.
And it's an excellent book. When I read that book, oh, it just really rekindled my search for Black knowledge
Right.
and what happened here in the United Kingdom. You see, so a lot of the men, they came and they fought in the war. So we have soldiers that was in the RAF and in the army as well from the Caribbean, and they fought in the world wars. Some
Okay.
stayed, some went back, and some came back to the United Kingdom as well. So
Okay.
it's been
Now,
interesting.
when did they do this fighting? When did they have this uprising among the Black people for a better way of life? What year was that?
Uh, there's always a struggle. There was a lot of issues, especially in Liverpool. That was another area where the seamen, they came, and a lot came from Somalia, and they were ostracized. However, they in Liverpool has a history of the struggle, and I would say even up to today, we have
Yeah.
the struggle. We've had like in my time growing up,
Yeah.
they had the riots, so many riots in this country.
So you're
The,
talking about the 1960 or
the
what?
60s, yeah, and in the 80s as well. So there's always now and again an upsurge of we're not having it, we're going to deal with it, So
Right.
we're like parallel to America in the sense that there's always been issues and we just want freedom
Right.
and we just want justice, you see. So
Right.
we will
So
always
did
fight.
are there any particular Black historical leaders that come to mind? Some names that led the revolution there?
Revolution. Now, this is where I wanted to in a
Like,
great
is there a
detail.
guy there like a Martin Luther King is here?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, because we have the party, political party, we had like Bernie Grant, and he was really magnificent for what he'd done for us. And he was the MP for Tottenham, and he is now an ancestor. He was a member of Parliament,
Oh, so
and so he
he
done
was
that.
an elected official.
Yeah, yes. And we had another gentleman who was from Trinidad, and he became a lord. But at the moment, I can't remember his name. So he did exceptionally well within the party. I think it was a Conservative Party as well. So
Okay, I got you. I got you.
these
So there,
questions,
so
yeah.
you what happened to us in let's say 1865? It really didn't happen in England until the early 1900s,
Hmm.
1940s, 1950s, something like that, right?
Okay, right.
Okay,
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah. So
Now,
what I'll have to, yeah, because I always saw you all as my cousins, but not knowing that we're not cousins. We are brothers and sisters because we were split up as a family yet again when we were stolen from Africa and we went to the Caribbean and Brazil and to America. And I recently understood that some Americans that were taken off the plantation because they were rebellious and so forth, they went to the Caribbean. And I've just recently found out the other day, um, it's just magnificent story. So I got to give you this detail. Whilst we're talking, I will find it. It was there was a set of Jamaicans that went to America and they were in the plantation and it's all being recorded. So hopefully before we depart from this first talk that we
yeah.
have
Now,
in
when
this
we come
present
back, we're gonna
session,
talk about it.
I would
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
have it up because I was just amazed, you see. So, one of the stories, which is true, Alex Haley, in his book Roots, he talks about those people who had money, they would take their servants and they would take them to another island. So, for example, like Barbados, you have a lot of Bajans who have relatives, blood relatives, and close relatives in Guyana. And it was amazing when I read the book Roots. When I read that part in Roots, I said, oh my God, because I know a lot of Guyanese and a lot of Bayesian who will always say, oh, I've got family there and family here. You see, so a lot did, went to different islands as well. And another thing from the Caribbean, because Jamaica is in the westward, the eastern side of the Caribbean, the islands are very close to their one another. So it's not until a lot of the family members from the eastern side of the Caribbean met those from the west side of the Caribbean in the United Kingdom. So you will also find that there's brothers and sisters, they will have one parent from Antigua, another parent from Jamaica, one parent from Suriname,
I
another
got you.
parent from Martinique, or, because of the islands in the Caribbean.
Right.
If I say West Indian, so that's going to cover the Bahamas and also South America, that you will find that the colonialism that we have in America, you have the one language, the English.
Right.
But for the Caribbean, you have the French, Spanish, English, Dutch. Those were the four main.
Right.
So next time we speak, I will get you the book and I will talk about it. We can talk a little bit on that.
Yes.
Called The Making of the West Indies. So
Yes.
like I've got family. I'm one that's got I've got an international family. I've got like what you will see, you'll find a lot of the Caribbeans, they'll live here in the UK and said, I've had enough of this country. Then they will go to America and Canada. So
I
I've
got you.
got blood relations in
Yes.
America and different states in America and
Yes.
Canada. And I've
Yes.
got like first cousins. I've got first cousins in America and
Yes.
first cousins in Canada.
Yes.
So that triangular,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
that triangular,
Yes.
they called it the triangular trade, but for us now, 2021,
Yes.
we can still join the lines in order.
I
The
got you.
triangle would be for us the pyramid, the
Yes.
shape of the pyramid. And that's where we have our families in these strategic countries.
I see. I see.
Yeah. So you'll
Beautiful.
find that when we say African diaspora, you have you have your family in the United Kingdom and Europe.
I
So you
see.
you will see we look at the same. And I had the experience of when I went to Paris, the Black Africans, they said, oh, are you American? And I said, no. Me and my friend said, no,
Yes.
we are British.
Yes.
And they was like, never known that before, you see. So
Yes.
yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful that we can have this dialogue.
I
Please.
bring you
Yes.
strong inspirations because I want us to understand how this all worked. And I guess if I'm summing it up,
Yeah.
uh, that we all came from Africa, but we all didn't come to America
Mm-hmm.
when they put us on those ships. Some went to Brazil,
No.
some went to the islands,
No.
and then from the islands they knew of the British
Mm-hmm.
and England as the homeland. Let's say, well, not the homeland, that's a bad word, but as the main focus. And so they
No, but
wanted to
yeah.
get to
Yes.
England.
Like for example, St. Lucia. St. Lucians, you'll have St. Lucians in America. St. Lucia, beautiful island, but the French and the British fought over that country. I believe it's 14, if it's not 14, 16 times. So you'll find that the St. Lucians, they speak French, and they speak English.
I got you.
But
I
it's
got
just,
you.
so again, in the Caribbean, because I'm coming from the Anglophone, I speak English and I speak a little French, and I'm going to improve on my Spanish. You'll
Yes.
find that the islands will be strategically, all right, Jamaica, second language is Spanish, but they would stick to themselves. And you've got Cuba, and you've
Yes.
got some relatives that are from Cuba and from
Yes.
Jamaica. Then
Yes.
you'll have the Dutch speaking islands as
Yes.
well. But we're not connected to because they speak Dutch
Yes.
and we
I
speak
see.
English.
I
Another
see.
one speak
Yes.
Spanish.
Yes.
So yet again, we're broken up into fragmented
I see. I
people.
see.
Do you
Yes.
understand?
I see.
So it's just beautiful for you and I to be speaking, because I don't say ancestor, I say ancestor. So this is an ancestral moment that you and I are together, and it's not
Yes.
our doing.
Yes.
Nothing to do with us whatsoever. It's to do on a spiritual level
Yes.
why we have met in order to be together.
Yes.
And it's just been an awesome journey
Yes.
with coming from Africa, stolen from Africa,
Yes.
gone to all these different places in the African diaspora.
I
Now, I
got you.
want to make it clear to our family members who are directly from Africa, that, yeah, I want to just say this to the family who are
Yes.
directly from
Yes.
Africa. You
Yes.
are not African. You are not African diasporians. They are not. They're not. It's African diasporians are for those who are stolen from Africa,
I see.
and we are scattered all over the place.
I
Yeah.
see. I
But
see.
we renovate, we recognize Mama Africa as being the core and the beginning as well.
Right.
So I find that this is just beautiful. The way
Yes.
how I look,
Yes.
I find that when I'm on the street, a brother or sister from Africa would say to me, "Oh, are you Nigerian?"
I
Yeah,
thank you so very much for being on Strong Inspirations. We're going to
thank
talk
you.
offline, and this is a topic that's going to take a lot to delve into. I thank you so very much. Just show one of the books that because you're a book distributor, right?
Yeah, I not so much. I sell the books.
Yeah, that's
There's
right. You sell the books,
booksellers and distribution, but I'm
right?
more on the selling. But
All
this
right.
is an excellent book, Black British History.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
is an idea.
I
That would be something for you all to get,
yes.
and that will let you know what's going on in the
And let me
United
stop you
Kingdom.
right there. Thank you so very much for being on Strong Inspirations. Everybody, you see what I'm doing. Get a copy of my book, Black Business Book, my movie. They're both on Amazon. Thank you so very much. Just Nubian Books is your handle.
Yeah, Nubinigist. Nubinigist.
Okay,
Nigist
that's
means
your
queen.
handle. We're going to come back. Thank you so very much for being on Strong Inspirations, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
It's been an inspiration. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.